This is Roll Initiative, Claw and Order Special Cryptids Unit, and I am your Dungeon Master, Game Master, Clue Riddler, Brian. And with me this week, I've got...
I'm Mike.
You sure are.
Hey, I play Mikey, the Jersey Devil. Oi, we I don't know what a cheesesteak is, but I know what a hoagie is. That I understand.
Hiya, I'm Eric. I'm going to be playing Norman, the normal human, crazy shapeshifter. I've killed multiple innocent people. Remember that time recently you were at the grocery store and you saw this old man? He looked kind of confused. That was me.
You weren't even confused?
That has happened to me.
I wanted to help you, and I felt bad that I didn't.
Nope.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
I didn't want to get. I didn't want to get eaten.
I was
Help him
shocked.
out to his car in that dark alley over there.
Why'd you park around the corner, sir?
Hey, you just set that one up for yourself. You made it too easy. I just had to.
There's plenty of handicap parking spots right out here.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I play Lawrence Aberline, the dog man of Michigan. Fact about Lawrence is his favorite house in his manor back home in Michigan. You'd think it would be his theater with his collection of laser discs that'll always be popular. But it's actually his garden where he grows his own wolfsbane.
Oh,
I don't even
He's
know
got-
what the
he's
fuck
got a-
a laser disc is.
he's got a green thumb. You don't know what a laser disc is?
The fuck's a laser disc?
It's a giant DVD, like a record size.
Yeah,
or
a
bigger.
DVD the size of an album.
Was this like even before our time?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
this
it's in
was
the
like-
70s.
No, they had laser discs when I was in school.
Do you guys use? Never used laser discs. I mean, they still
didn't
make
know
them,
that.
but they still
I've
make
never-
them. But
I've never
Like
seen
I
that.
remember floppy disks and like
Yeah.
When
cassette tapes.
I was in, I want to say it was middle school. They'd roll in the TV on the wagon into the
Yeah.
room, and you'd be like,
Mhm.
you'd be just fucking foaming at the mouth, freaking out. You're like, yes,
Bill
move
Nye
it,
the Science Guy.
fucking, let's do it. And then like you'd see like there'd be this giant box at the bottom, and you'd be like, man, that's not a VCR. Like, what is that thing? And it was just for like a couple like science movies for the most part. But like there's these fucking like giant album sized like CDs, DVDs, and like they put that in. This is like before they had like DVDs essentially, the laser disc, and they would put that in this giant fucking machine, and it would have like 90 minutes of like the Serengeti on it or whatever, with like a tiny little like menu at the beginning, and the teacher never knew how to fucking work it because like
It's
like for the most part tapes you just put on and they just fucking played.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was the
that's
first
what
time
they
it
used to
like
at home.
select something. So like it would every time it'd be like, all right, well where's the remote? How does this work? They'd spend like 5 minutes trying to make the remote work. That would fail. Then they try to use the buttons on the front of the laser disc thing. Eject
We've
the
all seen
laser.
an adult
bunch of
use
times.
buttons on a device before.
Oh my god, so good, dude. So it's like 15 minutes till you get started, and then it's Serengeti movie for the rest of the time, and then basically no time to ask questions about it afterwards.
It's okay.
The,
Learning's not the point.
the laser disc would make a great and deadly frisbee, wildly impractical. Almost as impractical as Blu-ray.
is Blu-ray and that impractical?
I mean,
It worked for PS4 games, but that was like the only practical use for
No,
them.
they're releasing movies nowadays that are like they're remastering shit that's like shot on film in Blu-ray, and you're getting to see like all the little details. Like apparently Star Trek, The Next Generation, if you get the Blu-ray of it, you can see the bolts. Excuse me, you can see the bolts in the wall paneling that's holding the fake spacey stuff on the wall.
What do you mean fake?
but imagine one of those like TV screens that they're touching with their hands, and there's just a literal like screw through it. But you can't see that on back in the day on regular television. But when you buy the Blu-ray, you can see it.
but nobody's like really buying physical copies of discs anymore. They all buy
No.
like digital copies, and all of those are Ultra HD, not Blu-ray.
No, you'd have to have a
Blu-ray
Blu-ray player for it.
Disc
Yeah.
itself. So like Blu-ray really only got like 10 years run of like being like, oh, all right, this is what it is now, because like
they finally figured out the upgrade to CD, and then someone's like, yeah, but like I figured out a generational leap past CDs, and they were just like, well, fuck, dude, we just figured out a better CD.
Yes, exactly what I was trying to say. But cue the intro music. I don't know, maybe it's already played. Who knows?
Initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can deliver part of a long rest. Roll initiative, it looks like combat has begun. Roll initiative, now it's time to have some fun. Roll initiative.
No, that's definitely where it is.
That's definitely where it starts.
Yeah, but this time it has like a synthesizer part, and then a simple crash at the end.
Oh goddamn!
Oh god! Just make that a running bit from now on. Mike just adds like 1 or 2 bits to the.
All right, there's gonna be a synth line. I guess I'll make a new. I'll just find the file for that song, pull it up, plug my synth in, and just be like.
Roll initiative, join us on our quest. Roll initiative, you can deliver part of a long rest. Roll initiative.
I don't know. Let's see if
I'm sorry, I'm high right now.
I love that so much. Just the defeat in Eric's voice. He's like, "Why am I'm obviously not doing it until I'm done beating Baldur's Gate 4 times, but I have to do that now. Thank you."
Yeah, like on my long list of things to do, create my own game from scratch, blah blah, beat Baldur's Gate 3, beat Starfield. I have no free time. The next few months are solely dedicated to playing video games.
Every time you say Starfield, and I just hear Garfield, but I do hear Starfield also. So, but I just think of Garfield in space.
I mean, I'm sure the mods will allow it.
Make your ship
like
Garfield.
Like Garfield just lands on planets, and he's like, "Listen, my first question:
Do you have lasagna?
Do you guys have Mondays?" And then
Our
the second
week is only 5 days long. We've given up on Monday and Sunday.
Garfield's in. Garfield will figure out lasagna.
Did you hear that Garfield actually only hates Sundays because it's when John Mondays because it's the first day John leaves after the weekend.
That's cute.
I don't believe you.
You being cute.
Yeah.
It's something I read. I believe it.
I don't, because I watched something else that was all about how Garfield's actually extremely hostile towards John. So that's the only reason why I don't believe it.
Yeah, guys, I have to stop before we get down the Garfield rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're 17 minutes in. Let's go.
17 minutes in. All right. So last week, it's good to get a quick recap. Last week, you guys got your new mission. Dispatched to Hawaii, to FootCon, murder, Bigfoot, dead, sad. Oh, there was a rolling of dice to figure out who the murderer was, the murder weapon, and the location upon your arrival. And from there, you guys were able to proceed into investigating.
That time it was me. I had to sneeze.
I know it was you on 3.
I always sneeze in 3s.
Holy shit, man. This is so funny.
Look, bodily functions, man. You're going to fart during the podcast. And
it happened last week, man. Let me take a drink from my beer real quick. All right. So dispatch to Hawaii. Explain the entire rules of the Clue D&D game. And you guys began to interact. Mikey made a move through the theater and into the library, sensing a arcane pull towards the library. In the library, he did find in the theater, he didn't find a ton, much of anything, but he wasn't doing a big check of the theater. It was more of a broad spectrum arcana check that pulled him towards the library. And then once upon reaching the library, he found a magic circle that had been made with blood chicken's blood to be exact, and was meant to be some kind of trap to hold someone had Mikey not found it and activated it from the outside. While that was happening, Lawrence, hungover as all hell, decided to make way from the lobby to the bar. The lobby had a small, like, dry bar in it, but Lawrence was heading towards the bar for hefty drinking and being by himself in a more quiet room. He went through the dining hall on his way to the bar, and in the dining hall, basically was able, with a good investigation check, to determine that it didn't look like the murder happened in that room. It didn't look like anything's really happened in that room since the evening before when the tables were reset. He did find like some claw marks in some of the drapery around the room, but nothing with any kind of like blood to it or any kind of like sign of murder or fight of any variety. And then beelined it straight for the bar upon getting himself a little bit of hair of the dog, hair of the wolf, per se, because Lawrence likes to mix wolfsbane with his drink. Lawrence, speaking of wolfsbane, got a whiff of wolfsbane plants like that. What some might consider poisons like that. Kind of what he was like sniffing around for. He was sniffing for any kind of like poisons on the drinks at the bar, and while he was investigating the bar, and while not smelling any kind of poisons around the bar, he does get like a whiff through like the air vents, per se, of more of a botanical sense of poisons. And while that was happening, Norman decided to take the route of talking to some of the suspects that had been gathered in the lobby. Everybody had basically gotten there early for the convention. He dropped in on Yeti and Skunk Ape or Jock from the collective, having a conversation generally about being surprised that, somebody would kill Bigfoot, and that Yeti was in a very angry and vengeful mood and wanted to enact the old ways of retribution, which would be everybody just beating the victim to death in like a group stoning almost, but just kind of standing over him and beating them with their big old Sasquatch. Like, I know you can all picture it, just a bunch of Sasquatches over one person, just like bringing the hands down.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and Jacques was not as interested in that idea, saying that there had to be a fair trial and that we couldn't just be brutal barbarians.
We can do better.
After that conversation, you moved on and ended up talking to the big boy in the room, Chemizit, also known as the Nandi Bear, and he basically gave you kind of the lowdown on the fact that there's kind of like an old guard or an OG group within like the even the people that are there. You obviously have like your younger ones like Skunk Ape, who's just like joining in and kind of taking over for Bigfoot, and some of the other guys, the Yowie, are a little bit on the younger side, but you're kind of like your original founders, the Yeti, Bigfoot. Chemizit has been there for a long time. Orang Pendek. Some of them are not as happy as Bigfoot was with being seen and bringing like hunters / recognition or like truth finders to their gates and making them have to live in more of a life of secrecy if they didn't want to have their picture taken or to be shot at. Not that he denied himself having any kind of ill feelings towards Bigfoot, but he said, that not everybody loved Bigfoot as much as, you had heard from everyone else, essentially. But that was you were the last one to go, and that would bring us back up to the top of the order with Lawrence. And Lawrence is still in the bar. And
can I ask who's in that old guard? If he mentioned it.
Oh, so the old guard again was like the Yeti and Bigfoot were like two kind of OGs.
Yeah.
Who helped start it. and then the Oran Pendik and Chemazit, the Nandi bear, have been around for like a while, whereas a lot of the other ones, even if they are older, have not been with like the group of Squatches for as long.
Okay.
And then like Skunk Ape is essentially like kind of taking over as like the American representative, or like yeah, the American representative for the most part for Bigfoot, or he was, essentially still is now that Bigfoot's dead.
We don't know that.
I mean, yes, you're right. We have that gotten confirmation from the coroner.
Look, if he dies off screen, that means he's gonna come back. I've seen him before.
Okay.
When a character you've never met before dies off screen.
Yeah, it has to be a setup.
It's true. It happened in Saw.
Damn it! Everyone that dies off screen in Saw comes back. You're right. Fuck. Guys, we need to take like a 30 to 45-minute break so I can write Bigfoot back in for the final act. No, Lawrence, what would you like to do? Are you done checking out things in the bar? Do you want to move elsewhere?
I have an idea, but I don't know if I should do it. I'm thinking turn into a werewolf and claim to be another Bigfoot. But I got no real reason to do that, but it would be fun.
It would be fun.
But I'll hold
your
off on
suit does allow you to like continue to wear your suit. It will retailor to you, so you can look like just a fancy Bigfoot, kind of.
that. I'm the one that hangs out in New York City. Just out in the open. Maybe the killer will kill me too. But no, I'm gonna hold off on that for now. So I want to see if I can maybe start tracking that scent of wolfsbane.
All right. Give me a perception check with advantage because you are using your nose.
Let's see. Perception with advantage. I'm not very good at that. It's 18.
18. All right. So you definitely, with that 18, you smell up towards like the venting. Essentially, there is a big, like, grate vent up in the corner of the bar that it looks like it's like a big exhaust for, I guess, like you would imagine. This is kind of like old school swanky resort. There's ashtrays about. They have a good ventilation system for pulling out cigar smoke, cigarette smoke. But you smell like something drifting back through the vent system your way, and that's kind of like herbal, botanical, poisony kind of smell you're getting.
Yeah.
Something
All right.
something similar to wolfsbane, but not quite wolfsbane. You can't quite put your finger on it.
Okay. The vents, do they draw in or blow out outside, or draw in from outside or blow it outside? Because you said there's cigar smoke and stuff, or they're for cigar smoke. I don't know how these fucking things work.
Give me an investigation. Give me an investigation check on the vent.
I'd say 22.
22 both ways. It is so essentially it looks like it's just like a duct system that's kind of running alongside the outer walls of the building. It looks like it's a central vent that kind of connects to other rooms down along the line and probably vents all the way out.
And my bit's small enough to fit in them.
With a 22, you could, if you wanted to crouch down, you could crawl through there. It's a fairly large vent. It's not like super tiny. Like you don't have to like crawl down. You could pretty much like squat through and kind of duck walk your way through there.
Yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'll climb inside.
All right, you are inside the vent, and you kind of look like one way, like right out to your left because you're out near the corner. You see fresh daylight. There's a slow spinning fan at the end that's kind of drawing all the air down that way and out from the rest of the building. That's what's blowing the air out. You smell coming from the other direction, going up the other way. You smell that botanical kind of like poisonous smell that you've been smelling. And as you follow it all the way up, it is going to bring you to another grate. And as you look through that grate out into the room, you see a bunch of plants, a bunch of planters, green grass, a little bit of like water and mist, high ceilings, lots of windows and glass. You find yourself like right at the vent in and out of the greenhouse, which is all the way down in the right hand corner there.
That reminds me of the greenhouse I have back home. I'm gonna try to quietly remove the crate and slip down inside.
All right, stealth check.
Oh boy.
Or you could do a sleight of hand if you'd like.
They're both the same.
They're the same.
Let's do stealth. That's a 13.
13. You are not particularly quiet doing this.
I dropped the bottle of liquor I brought with me.
Yeah. We'll say you made it. Like you knock the vent out, and it falls out, and you reach out and grab it out of the vent as you're like, as it's falling, and then you like are like, phew, and then as you do that, like the bottle of liquor falls out of the inner coat pocket of your suit jacket and falls to the floor and shatters, and liquor kind of goes everywhere and glass kind of goes everywhere, and you're like, God damn it.
That was a 200-year-old bottle of scotch.
Give me one more perception check. This one is going to be at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. That's a nat 1.
All right.
Turns to a nat 2.
You've kind of done your turn for this turn. We'll come back to you. But you have just made a bunch of noise on your way into the greenhouse after investigating in the bar for the hidden passageway between the bar and the greenhouse. And you have made a bit of noise. And in that time, didn't really notice any of your surroundings as you kind of lower yourself into the greenhouse. And we'll cut over to Mikey, who is in the library. You have just got done with the trap that you had found. You know that there's this is the arcana, like the magic you were feeling in the area was from that magic circle. Where would you like to go from here?
In the direction of that noise I just heard, the game room.
All right, nice. You move into the game room. Give me a perception check upon moving into the game room, please.
Along with spooky music.
Oh, they got Super Mario Brothers.
Is that the Atari man?
You have to add the sound effects for each of those things you're saying.
So I said Super Nintendo, super easy.
Yeah. Yeah, so is Atari because it's 8-bit.
All right, Atari's probably like.
We all should guess what Atari sounds like.
Yeah, you're accurately doing what was it, Pong?
Yeah.
Pong.
No, yeah, there you go.
It took a little bit for games to have like actual soundtracks.
I got a 10.
All right, a 10. Upon running into the game room, you're kind of like making a move after the noise you had heard, just kind of like bumbling into the game room. You run into the game room, and there's a pool table out the corner. There is some high top tables sitting around. There's some smaller tables, some very comfy seats, chessboards, other board games set out, a puzzle, like a spot where you would be doing a puzzle, and you notice a coat rack that's like right in the doorway as you come in, and it just like kind of like falls over as you brush past it, and then kind of like sits back up.
What?
It like rights itself right back up as you walk past it.
Like, do its limbs like push itself up like little hands, like it bends to do this, or does it just like magically sort of not with like magic, but just it just stands up?
With your perception check, you could not tell.
Destroy it.
Haunted furniture.
Oh well, but how could I? How the? Oh, I don't like that at all. I'm gonna grab it.
You're gonna grab it.
Yeah.
All right, I dig it. You go to grab it. Give me an athletics check.
6.
6. You go to grab it. It goes back to grab you. With its it basically, as you go to grab it, it kind of like leans to the side and then kind of like bends and warps a little bit, and then 2 of the little holders that are supposed to be going out to like grab like hold coats up, just kind of like get a little bit longer and just kind of wrap around you. You can make a strength check to try to bust out. It's a DC 15 strength check to bust out.
18.
Boom. All right, you bust out, and this thing, you basically are able to like wiggle your way out, kind of like slip out around, and before it's able to close, essentially, you're able to slip out of its arms, and you can attack first, but this thing's coming for you.
Okay. I'm gonna hit it with I'm gonna hit it with a storm of chains, which is arms of Hadar.
All right.
You know what? Fuck this thing. I'm just gonna hit it with burning hands, like a flamethrower.
Oh shit! All right.
Hey, don't touch the coat.
Burning hands, and that is is that a save? Just damage. Rules lawyer.
It might be.
Oh wait, sorry. Burning hands. It's a dexterity save based off his DC spell save DC. Is that
All right,
what you were?
not going to pass. Yep, not going to pass. 14 damage. This is made of wood. Even though it's alive and moving right now, it's a coat rack made of wood. It's going to take double damage from that. So 14 turns into 28. So narrate you turning around and just burning this guy. It's not down, but you have inflicted a ton of damage to it.
I pull out my pendant. Sorry. I pull out my pentagram pendant out of my pocket, like my chest holster, and I just point at him, and I just fucking blast him, and I just keep it going as it's like, just keep it going.
Is this like real concentrated, or is this like fire all over the place?
No, real concentrated, like blasting him directly in the corner that he just came out of.
All right, dope. I feel like it gets kind of like pushed into the corner with this blast of fire, and as like the smoke kind of clears, you can see there's like that really dope, like if you've seen that Japanese method of like wood burning that they use for like sealing wood. It looks like that. He's got like that crumbly, like burnt wood kind of vibe to like the front of it now, like where you hit it with a fire, and it launches itself off the wall, like pushes itself off the wall and comes flying at you with an attack. Does a 15 beat your armor class? I don't know if it does, or it might be right on it now.
I think his armor class is 14.
Yeah, it's 14.
All right, so 15 hits. So this thing hits you for a decent amount of damage. It's still smoldering as it kind of launches itself across the room and blasts you for 13 damage as like it throws its full body weight into you. You do hear a decent amount of like cracking as it hits you, and you can kind of like feel like the structural integrity of this thing is not strong. It doesn't have much left in it. But with that, we're gonna step away from you and head to where Norman is. God, are you did turn into a Sasquatch
Yeah,
at one point?
yeah,
You're still a Sasquatch?
absolutely.
All right, cool. So you've talked to Yeti, very angry, wants to enact the old school vengeance. You've talked to Skunk Ape, not like wants to go with like traditional new school trial. You've talked to Chemazit, kind of a real like loner kind of dude, just kind of wants to be left alone, and kind of like clued you in on Orange Panda or the Orang Pendic, who is the smallest of the bunch in here. This is a Bigfoot in the name of being a hairy humanoid ape-like creature with larger feet, in comparative to body size, kind of in name, essentially. But stature-wise, the Orang Pendic does not stand like as tall as everyone else here. More closer to human size. You are now kind of like towering over them in your Sasquatch form, that you've kind of like morphed into.
I can't change size.
You can't really turn into. All right, yeah.
So
yeah,
I am currently an also short Sasquatch. So
yes,
maybe
also,
there'll be
yeah.
camaraderie.
All right, so you are a human short-sized Sasquatch as well.
But I'm fuzzy and have the big feet.
You're fuzzy with big feet. So you want to talk to Orange Panda?
Yeah. I mean, I might as well talk to everyone while I'm in here. We're gonna have to talk to them all at some point.
All right. So you walk up. Orange Panda was kind of talking with the taller, skinnier, scary-looking Sasquatch.
Is that the hip again?
That is not the hip again. That is the Mank.
Gotcha. I
The
just
Mank
like the word hip
is
again.
the hip again. The hip again is also a kind of like whiter, grayer Sasquatch, kind of along the lines of like the Yeti. Kind of think almost like those Japanese snow monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, those guys. He's got that kind of vibe going on.
Let me put it this way. I don't know the real life equivalent, but I've seen a lot of Japanese video games featuring a snow monkey style creature. So I'm assuming it's based on that.
That's that guy. I just kind of made up his idea. But I'm sure, there's something like that out there. So Orion Pendic was talking to that taller one, which to be the Mank. And as you're approaching, the Mank just kind of like ends the conversation, and just kind of like, as they're looking at you, just kind of like sidles off and away as you approach to talk to Orang Pendic.
Oh, sorry, did not mean to interrupt.
The Mank just stares, like does not like say anything else, and just kind of like makes eye contact till they've walked far enough away that they can just kind of turn around and like walk away from you and be like out of eyesight, essentially.
I'm gonna stop in stride to recreate the Bigfoot pose.
Just from the side, you walk up to Orange Pen and you're like,
Just give him the pose. I just had when in Rome, Squatch as the statues do.
I recognize this pose. I recognize your pose. I get it. I do. It is Bigfoot.
It's just not the same without him around.
It is much quieter.
You a fan of the new Found Quiet?
It is weird. I don't love, but always thought I would. Wish it was. No, not wish, but don't miss. But I don't have exact words for emotion of scenario.
Respect.
But how can I help you? I've not met before.
I'm just here. Bigfoot told me I should come, and well, here I am.
I feel like you had like a Bigfoot kind of like accenty thing going on to begin with while you were doing your pose.
Yeah, I
And
did. But as soon as I did stop doing the pose, it's just hard to keep the voice going. Because I was doing the pose in real life, obviously.
I feel like as you get away from the accent, you're kind of looking more and more humanish. But
I mean, when you lose a friend, we're all a human.
it's true. Very true. How can I help you?
Well, I guess since he said I should come here, I was just trying to get to know everyone a little bit.
All right, give me a charisma check. Just do charisma by itself. Let's see if he's gonna like you.
Nah, I got an 11.
Right down the middle. I mean, I can answer questions for you. I don't know a lot. We got here last night. Check-in was quick. Most of us spent our nights in rooms. I went out to the beach. I don't get beach at home.
Sure.
So it feels nice to have the sand under your toes, and he like picks up his feet and like wiggles them, and you see like just he's got like hairy feet and just like bunches of sand just coming out of
like pounds of sand just compacted into his toes.
Yeah, just like a small pile of sand starts to form on the floor as he shakes his foot out. Really had a lot in there.
Hold on, let me do the pose again. Sand is quite lovely.
Yes, like I said, no beach at home, so very preferable sand. But not a big fan of outdoor shower. So sand is everywhere, if you know what I'm saying.
It's coarse, it's small. It get everywhere.
But I go to beach and come back and go back to room. I did hit bar, grab bottle of booze, went back to room, had a bit of a nightcap, fell asleep, woke up this morning, loud screams, everybody upset, come in here.
What time?
And,
loud scream.
Oh, loud scream. It's weird. I remember already being awake, like something woke me up before loud scream, but it was like 4:30, I think the alarm said.
What woke you up before? Do you remember?
I don't know. It's weird. Like as soon as you asked me about the time of the scream, I remember the time.
You remember being awake and knowing what time it was around that.
But like I remember like just already kind of being awake almost.
Describe like, the room. Like what was going through your mind at the time?
At the time of loud scream?
Yeah, like put yourself back in there. Imagine you're back in your bed, wake. You're kind of awake. You hear the loud scream.
Loud scream felt like home, because at home we have howler monkeys. So you wake up all the time. Ah!
Of course.
It's very common.
Yeah, so you were feeling a sense of nostalgia for back home while you were in this foreign land. You were feeling partially awake. Do you remember anything else going through your mind at the time?
I remember I have small beds. Obviously, with convention, everybody needs big beds. So I always get cheated on. I would like room to spread out, but I always end up with the small bed. So I remember being upset about small bed. remembering being fondly of howler monkeys, upset about small bed, trying to remember anything else. There was
Yeah.
a strange there was a strange silence after scream, and then and then and then almost no noise whatsoever, like a full lack of sound entirely, like not even like birds anymore or howler monkeys.
Got it. I already figured that part out. As soon as you were saying that, I was just like, oh, I know what's going on here. So someone cast silence.
What is silence?
Ritual, ancient ritual, create big quiet.
Ooh, orang pendek not do magic. Not no fuck with magic.
Magic, scary.
Very scary. Do you have any other questions for Orange Panda?
No, I believe I'm currently exhausted of current things. I did my best to put him back in the mindset to reawaken past memories. So I think I'll move on. That Mank motherfucker was giving me that eye. I think I should go talk to him next. But someone else can do their turn first.
Yep. All right. So we slide on from you back to Lawrence.
It's me.
It's you.
It's a me. So I cracked the bottle. I dropped down inside, obviously.
All right.
But
so
I fell in.
yeah, you felt. I mean, you haven't fallen in. You just you dropped your bottle in. You made a bunch of noise, and then you had a nat one perception check upon the room. As you climb down the wall and like set the grate down, as you're kind of like scaling down like this brick wall, and the brick wall has like an ivy kind of to it. It's a very chic greenhouse. It's got like all panes of glass around the outside. You're like by one of the exterior walls to the building, attached to the greenhouse. So like as you're climbing down that, you feel like a small like kind of like tickle and prick, and then you notice that the vines that were on the wall that you've been scaling down are like wrapping around your wrist and then around your other wrist as you're coming down. Give me a strength check at disadvantage because you're also climbing down and you were surprised by this. So a 15, with a 15, you're able to like rip your one arm out and like this is like really good for you because this thing was about to throw you down to the ground from about like 10 feet in the air as you were climbing down. Now you've got like, and you would have had like neither of your hands available to stop your fall. Now you've got your hand out and you can kind of like, you've got more control of your body. So it's going to attack with disadvantage. It's going to try to slam you off the wall down to the ground. All right. A 10 does not beat your armor class, correct?
But 10 misses.
10 misses. I should
Yes.
make it hit. No, all right. So 10 misses. So this the vines like throw you from the wall down to the floor. You're able to like detach and land, and on your feet, kind of turn to face as this like group of vines kind of like clumps up and kind of makes like one smaller. It's not like a huge like mound, but there's a pretty decent sized mound of vines on the wall, and it definitely just like tried to throw you off the wall and onto the ground.
Feels like I should shoot lightning into this thing. No, I won't do that.
I mean, you're welcome to shoot lightning into it if you want.
No. I'm tempted to just run away.
All right, you could do that. You've got 2 different directions you could run. You could run towards the meeting room or towards the dining hall. Since you just busted out through like the grates, I would say you don't really know which direction's which. Like you wouldn't have your necessary bearings because you just took like a shortcut through like the ductwork.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, you don't know exactly where you're at. So if you wanted to run, you could roll or like flip a coin essentially to see which direction you're gonna go.
I don't have a coin on me.
Right.
I'm gonna roll D2.
Roll D2, essentially flipping a coin. Let's say a 1 you head towards the game room and a 2 you head towards the dining hall.
2 back to the dining hall.
Back to the dining hall. All right, so you're gonna run back towards the dining hall. As you're fleeing the room, it is gonna take one last kind of swap out at you. Again, a disadvantage because you're pretty far away.
Oh, it's gonna be double crits. It's gonna knock me right the fuck out.
Maybe not. Just
13.
Your armor class.
Yes, it does.
All right, it's gonna swat. It's gonna swip at you with some thorns as you run on out. You're just gonna take the 11.
Yeah. That's over 1/4 of my health.
Yep. I mean, these are some thorny vines, my man. But you were able to run past it. It can't go at like you kind of like see as you run through the door. It's kind of like stuck in that room. It tries to follow you and just kind of like almost hits what feels like what looks like an invisible force field. It can only be in that room essentially. So as you run down the hall back towards and like you burst through the door into the dining hall, you're like, all right, I've been here.
Oh yeah, the bar's right back there. Good.
Give me a quick perception check.
Okay, I do that sometimes. There's a 9.
9. You don't notice anything you didn't see the first time you were in this room.
Just walk right past it, straight up to the bar.
Yeah, you're like, I've been here. All right, so you're positioned to go back to the bar again.
I lost my bottle of liquor I stole from there. It's not going to replace itself.
And as we see Lawrence opening a door that he's already opened, heading back towards the bar, we cut back over to Mikey, who's currently wrestling a smoldering coat rack in the game room, just one dice roll away from Lawrence popping in to help him.
Yeah. Yeah, if you had rolled the other way on that, you would have went my direction. But I think I got this.
Yeah, you're fine.
It looked like it was pretty hurt, right?
Yeah, it's like it launched itself out the wall and did like what like a skinny wrestler would do, just kind of like went sideways and like kind of clotheslined you a little bit. But when it hit you, you heard a good solid cracking inside where like you had already hit it with your fire, and you can see it's definitely in a bad shape. It's right there. You could do pretty much whatever you want with it. It was just on top of you. So
I'm gonna hit it with Jets of Philagathos, aka Firebolt.
Liking it.
Oh, I got a nat 1, which is an 8.
All right. Roll me 2 D100s.
Okay. 58 and 7.
58 and 7. 31. You fire off. You have a resistance to fire anyway, so I'm not going to have you take any kind of fire damage. But you fire off your firebolt off to the corner of the room, and it misses, but it does catch a curtain on fire. So now a corner of the room in the game room is on fire. It's going to leap in the air again, essentially, and just kind of like throw itself in the air to come down on top of you because you're kind of like laying on the ground for where it had knocked you down the first time, and it's going like full wrestler mode essentially on you, and it's going to try to slam down on top of you again. 16 is going to hit.
Now, did I get hurt from the previous trap?
No,
So
you
I
didn't
should
take
have
any
full
damage
health.
from the circle. You had full health. Yep.
Okay.
All right, so you take another big thing of bludgeoning, but you hear again as it lands on top of you, big crack. You can see this thing's almost been fully cracked in half, from where you started your burn. And it's kind of laying on top of you. You're free to act again.
How much damage did he? Oh, 16. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is a very angry magic coat rack. Think Fantasia. It's Fantasia. Yeah, Fantasia, where everything's like kind of animated in the house. I guess Beauty and the Beast works as well, but just really mean.
Oh wait, I forgot. I have Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, yes, you have Hellish Rebuke. You also have that the cold one as well from your cloak.
Right. I don't need to use that just now. I am going to respond to him hitting me with a Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke's a good call because the fire did double damage last time.
What level can I cast it at? Is it my Warlock level?
It's up to you. You can use your sorcerer spell slots or your warlock spell slots, which are whatever the highest level you can cast as a warlock would be.
Which I think is level 3 for you, right?
He's a level 3 warlock.
Yeah.
Which means they just went up to level 2.
All right, gotcha. You have level 3 spells because you have Fireball, don't you?
I have Firebolt.
Oh, yeah, Fireball. No, Ryan has Fireball. That's right.
Yeah, Ryan has Fireball. Mike has level 2 sorcery and level 2 warlock spells.
Yeah.
But he has, and because they're both, the warlock has special spell slots. Like, he's not like a multi-class caster spell progression.
All right, yep. That 15
8
damage.
Yep.
On your Hellish Rebuke. Doubled up. You fully like incinerate the this coat rack, so it's like on top of you. It just slammed back down into you. And I'm assuming you just kind of like you take the damage, but like it makes you pretty fucking like angry, and you just kind of emit like a wave of heat off of you. Like from getting hit to the ground, and like this like heat wave just like runs through the coat rack and just kind of like turns it to ash.
And I immediately want to try to put out the fires with I'm going to do instead of burning hands, it's a cooling hand. I'm just going to spray the corner of the room with burning hands, but change it to ice.
Fire extinguisher hands.
Yes, fire extinguisher hands.
Give me a quick Arcana check.
8.
I mean, you can do this. Like there's some ice just kind of like covers it. It's not as finesseful as like you might like. There's just like big frozen chunks where the fire was, but you get the fire out. Hey guys, it's your Dungeon Master Brian here. We had to cut the recording a little bit short this week due to technical difficulties. We had a little bit shorter episode this week, a little bit longer episode next week, as opposed to doing a 3-hour episode, which most people aside from me probably can't sit through. Thank you guys for listening to us. If you like, we have a Twitter. It's roll_IT_cast. And we have a YouTube page, Roll Initiative Podcast. Give us a follow. You can find stuff on new stuff we've got going on, episodes coming up. The YouTube will, at some point here, soon have full audio versions of our episodes, so you can listen to them on the YouTube as well. And that's it. Thank you guys for giving us a listen, and here's some useless banter from me and the guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Beat up. Pow. This will also open up here.
Crisp beer.
What are you drinking tonight?
Founders West Coast.
Any good?
No.
We got 15 of them, so.
It tastes like the West Coast. Bitter and gross and disgusting.
And entirely too laid back for my East Coast mentality.
Yeah.
While simultaneously being way too stressful for my relax.
It just keeps telling me to chill out, bruh. And I'm like, I'm not your bruh. I just feel like I'm like slowly losing my taste for IPAs for the most part.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
What next?
I don't know. Maybe I stop drinking someday. Who knows? Maybe everything eventually tastes bad, and I'm like, you know what's good? Water.
Water's great.
Vodka.
I mean, water is great. I basically just drink water and beer for the most part.
Partial gin and
right?
tonics.
Maybe I'll start calling soda pop. You know?
You can't cross that line.
I can't. I
That's
can't
the
call
Mason
soda
Dixon
pop.
line.
And I hate it. I hate it when people say cuss instead of curse.
Yeah, that one bothers me. Like, you know, you can say anything you want, pronounce anything the way you want to, but that one does just like.
You guys never said cuss.
Absolutely fucking not.
Well, it crawls. Obviously, you can tell right now it crawls right under me, Mike, and Eric's skin for some reason.
I say both curse and cuss, but I always thought curse was the like formal way of putting it, and cuss was like slang.
Yeah, that is, but it sounds so like wrong. It almost sounds like a racist word and a word for pussy at the same time. Like that level of crass in your ear.
My dad's family's from Maryland, and they would say cuss, and it would be like, my aunt would always be like, "You better stop cussing," and I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even fucking understand you."
What the fuck's a cuss?
The pop thing, I went to Oklahoma and they all said pop, and I'm like, what the fuck?
In Texas, we never called it pop.
No, you just call everything.
No, that's a very limited part of Texas. Also, I never called.
What do you guys call hoagies?
Subway sandwiches. I don't know.
Yeah,
Subway trademark.
It's a submarine or a grinder. The other places.
I've heard grinder. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of grinder. That one just grinds my gears.
Yeah, grinder doesn't sound good.
But as soon as you say hoagie, people can go on a map and they can figure out pretty much where you probably live.
Sometimes I heard po' boy. There's a lot of
get me.
Yeah, you're either in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. We'll figure it out.
Now doesn't like a po' boy entail like some kind of like seafood in it generally?
Yeah. But there was a
New York.
big chain restaurants of po' boys sandwiches around where I grew up. I don't know if they were everywhere in the South, but they were
I don't know, man. I love me a hoagie, and I love the word hoagie.
I think you guys called them cheesesteaks up here.
A cheesesteak's a very specific thing, you jag off.
I hate when you go other places and they're like, "This is a cheesesteak," and you're like, "It's not. You made a steak sandwich. Congratulations."
Yeah.
They're both.
You know what the problem is? It's always too good. Like,
yeah, it's gotta suck ass if you want it to be a
put like
steak.
Wagyu beef in here and shit. Fuck is that?
Yeah.
See, the problem there is you're trying to make a good sandwich.
No. When you buy a steak sandwich, I want like slabs of steak in there, not this.
Yeah, you want a good steak sandwich. You don't want a cheesesteak.
You don't want a cheesesteak. You want a good steak sandwich.
Now, what you gotta understand here is what I did is I cut the steak real fucking thin, right? So
I don't want
so it cooks faster.
I don't want
so that it's all well done. It's all well done. The entire thing. It's super well done. But to make it easier to chew, super thin, tiny pieces.
We can cook like 30 orders of it at once, and it looks like we're doing a lot, and we're just clanking two spatulas together.
Ooh, Hey, I'll take offense to that. I've had to clank spatulas, so it can be hard.
Yeah, but sometimes like you don't actually need to be doing anything, and you're just like pretending to like move it around and like stir it around and cut it and stuff. I feel like sometimes when I'm ordering a cheesesteak, it looks like they're just randomly throwing it around for no reason. When sometimes the answer is to just let it.
Oh, that's them giving it the love.
I'll tell you what, clanking spatulas looks way easier than it actually is. Yeah, whenever I
I've
watch
worked enough restaurant jobs to know that clanking any sort of kitchen utensil is a shitty job. I'm not here saying that. I'm just saying I think they do extra.
What is clanking spatulas?
Basically just cooking on a flat top.
Yeah,
whenever you watch like,
but just like really going at it for some reason.
Whenever you watch like Guy Fieri, like stop by some spot, this dude's just like flipping meats or burgers or whatever on a flat top,
but
with the spatulas, make it look real easy. But you get in the nitty gritty of that, shit's sticking. There's hot spots in different areas that aren't other spots. Like no matter what you do to move stuff around, it never stays in like a nice little pile that you see on TV. It's just all fucking over the place.
But also specifically like clanking them together, it's kind of like specifically a cheesesteak. Is you have to hold two of the spatulas in your hand, and you've got to like chop up while flipping the same time, and then mix cheese and onions into it the same time while flipping it and everything constantly. So that's what I mean by clanking, because you're holding one in each hand, and so you're two in each hand if you're amazing.
It's some sort of fucking mechanized flat top machine built for perfection. You're just 4 spatulas deep, just going at it, clanking them everywhere.
Goro.
You got 5 coming, and then there's a construction crew coming in after them.
You're Goro from Mortal Kombat, getting paid twice the amount to make as many cheesesteaks as possible with all 4 of them.
Hey, that's where the money's at. They only have to pay the full-time benefits for one person. Just kidding. No one gets benefits.
Nobody gets benefits.
Nobody gets benefits. You kidding?
Not a cheesesteak.
Oh yeah.
Maximum pain tonight. Nice.
Yeah, this is Maximum Pain. Just make a fully different video game franchise. Slow motion third person shooter.
I have a real life tiny notebook in front of me that I can flip with my pen, so I feel very much like a actor right now. Holy shit! Someone just died.
Ryan's doing some crazy stuff.
I didn't do anything.
What are you doing?
Eric?
No, I heard them through the computer.
What was it?
It was
it sounded like someone fell down a table and died.
No.
Were you doing anything at all?
I unplugged my vape from the charger.
Oh yeah, that's totally it.
Wow, how is it that loud?
It's
Anyway,
so crazy.
I have I have written down everybody's name, which I realized I didn't fucking do it all last week. So if we got into some really nitty-gritty clues, I wasn't even ready to fucking recall them. So now I have a little notebook.
It is up on the page there. You can.
Oh no, I know the names of them, but I'm saying
what I've talked to them about and what their personalities were like so far.
Yeah, I really wish I'd written down as he was talking to him, which I'm gonna do now.
I should have as well, but it was late. I was tired.
Now I am alert.
All right. So with that, we will introduce.